Okay, let's kick off the second half of today's matches at IEM Cologne. We have 3D Max versus GamerLegion in a ridiculous elimination match that honestly had everything. Triple overtime, clutches, comebacks, just pure chaos from start to finish. We started off on Overpass, which was actually 3D Max's map pick, but you wouldn't know it based on how it played out. GamerLegion completely ran the show in the first half, storming out to a 10-2 lead, and Rez was on Demontine, dropped a 1.88 rating and a 117 ADR. 3D Max had a small spark early on thanks to a 1v2 deagle clutch from Maka, but it didn't last long. GamerLegion shut it down 13-6 and went into Inferno looking locked in. But 3D Max weren't going down easy. Inferno started rough again. They were down 2-7 on the CT side, but they bounced back hard. They clawed it back to a 6-8 at the half and came out swinging after the side swap. They ended up taking 11 of the next 14 rounds to flip the map completely. PR was putting in work for GamerLegion, but Maka once again came in clutch, this time in a low buy round that sealed the 13-11 win and sent us to Dust 2. And then we move on to Dust 2, and it turned into full-blown war. 3D Max went on a 10-1 run, but GamerLegion brought it all the way back and actually retook the lead. Both teams kept trading rounds deep into double and then triple overtime until finally, with another OT looking likely, Lucky and Exercise pulled off a 2v clutch on the A site to end it. Huge win for 3D Max, not just for surviving elimination, by doing it in a gritty marathon style. Next up we have Vitality versus G2, and Vitality dominate G2 to set up major final rematch with the Mongols. They extended their win streak to 36 series in a row after a clean 2-0 over G2, and now they're lined up for a major final rematch with the Mongols to see who skips straight to the semis at Cologne. Inferno was first, and despite Zyru actually going 0-6 in opening duels, Vitality still cruised, and that really kind of says it all. G2 had some flashes, especially Heavy God, who dropped a Glock ace and two 1v2 clutches on the CT side, but even with those heroics, Vitality controlled the map and closed it out 13-5. On train, things were a bit closer. G2 even took the lead at one point thanks to Heavy God again, but they couldn't keep the momentum going. Mabs MD had a really rough time over on Ivy, and Apex just waited him out for 3 kills at one point. Vitality ended it 13-10 and moved on without ever looking shaky. Now, big shout out to Flames, Mezzi and Zyru, who all dropped 1.20 plus ratings, and it's worth noting this was Vitality's first match against G2 this year, and even after the break they looked locked in. No post-summer slump here, so now it's Vitality versus the Mongols for that direct semi-final spot, and if it's anything like their Ulster Major final, it's going to be lit. Alright, closing out the day with what was basically a speedrun. Furia destroyed Astralis 2-0 with 13-3 on Inferno and 13-4 on Dust 2 to stay alive at IEM Cologne. Let's be real, this was a complete collapse from Astralis. After losing to Furia on Nuke and Dust 2 in Stage 1, they tried to switch it up with an Inferno pick, but that backfired instantly. Yuri and Yakinda combined for 23 frags on T-side alone, and Furia ran them over. Pretty bad. Second half, Astralis planted the bomb once. That's it. Furia wrapped it up in 4 rounds and moved on to Dust 2. And yeah, Dust 2 wasn't much better. Astralis got 4 rounds, but honestly, that flatters them. They looked completely out of sync, barely getting any kills in the early rounds. But the moment that really sealed it, Yakinda pulled off a disgusting USP ace at long to start the second half. Any hope Astralis had was gone. Furia closed it out clean with another 2v2 retake and never looked back. Kesarato, Yakinda and Yuri all dropped monster numbers, with Kesarato ending on a 1.72 rating. Meanwhile, Device and Jabby couldn't even break 0.6. Furia move on to face Falcons next, while Astralis bow out after one of their worst showings in months. Let me know your thoughts on today's matches in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching.